Welcome to your first Yoga for Athletes class. This is going to be a series of yoga classes, and what we're going to be working on here is our hips, our shoulders, our back, our neck, our feet, everywhere, using various mobility and stretching exercises. And along with that, what we're going to be doing is some stability and corrective exercises. So if at any stage you feel pain, just ease off, and after you ease off, if you still feel pain, just don't do the exercise. Okay? So what we're going to work on today is our hips. What you might need for today's class is a yoga block, and if you don't have a yoga block, you can use a pillow. I'm sitting on a yoga block now at the minute. So we're going to begin cross-legged, and we're going to begin with a breathing exercise just to calm the nervous system before we begin. So I want you to sit cross-legged with your spine as upright as possible. If you feel any pain here, stack maybe 2-3 pillows. And just tune in with your breath. Take long and slow inhales through your nose, and long and slow exhales through your nose. We're going to start with a Nadi Sodhana breathing. So it's alternate nostril breathing. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your index finger and your middle finger, and you're going to place them at the point between your eyebrows. And we're going to be using our thumb and our ring finger to alternately open and close our nostrils. So begin with your 2 fingers in between your eyebrows. We're going to use your thumb. We'll go to our right hand to start. We're going to use our thumb to close our right nostril, and we're going to breathe through our left nostril. So inhale through your left. Close your left nostril and exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Close. Exhale through your left. Inhale through your left. Close. Exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Close. Exhale through your left. Continue on with that pattern. Inhale through the left. Close. Exhale through the right. Bring both hands down onto your knees. Tune in with the body. Just ask yourself how the body feels now. Just become aware of how the body feels. Bring your awareness down to your hips. When you're ready, bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Bring your right hand behind your back and just gently twist over your right shoulder. And gently warm up the spine. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist a bit further. Come back around to the center. Right hand on the outside of your left knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist over the left shoulder. That left hand can be behind your back on the ground. And back to center. Left hand on the ground. Inhale, raise your right arm. And exhale, just a gentle side bend. Inhale, back to center. Right hand on the ground. Reach the left hand over. And back to center. So for this one, make sure your hips are propped up nice and high. If you've got any pain in your lower back here, don't be afraid to just stack 2 blocks on top until you're nice and warmed up. So what we're going to do is we're going to gently walk our hands forward in front of us. using our breath to guide us into the stretch. So get to the point where you feel tension or tightness and just hold it there and breathe deeply. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw or your neck, if your mouth is clenched, your shoulders. And let's use long and slow inhales and long and slow exhales to move deeper into the stretch. And slowly come up. And we're going to roll forward into tabletop position onto all fours, so you can remove your block or your pillows. If you want, I'll go this way. So we're going to come into tabletop position, which is our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees are underneath our hips. Spread the fingertips nice and wide, and we're going to continue to loosen the spine through cat-cow. Now, if you haven't done cat-cow before, cat is where we arch our back, and cow is where we round our back. Sorry, the other way around. Cat is where we round our back, cow is where we arch our back. So we'll go into cow first. So we're going to begin by looking up to the sky, pushing our shoulder blades back and down, and just begin to arch our back and work your way down your spine. And we're going to reverse the movement, so you're going to tuck your chin into your chest, push through your hands around your shoulders, work your way down your mid-back, down into your lower back and your lumbar spine. And repeat that again. So look up to the sky, shoulder blades down away from the ears, look up, arch the back. And when you feel a bit of tightness in your spine here, I just want you to breathe into it. And we go for one more cat. So tuck the chin into the chest. Push the ground away, shoulders up, tuck the chin. And come back to neutral. So we're going to do some controlled articular rotations, which are basically movements of our joints, but instead of just lashing into the movements, we're going to do every movement with control, so we're bringing mobility and strength into the joint. So we're going to start with fire hydrants. So I want you to imagine that you have a cup of water here on your shoulders, and you don't want that cup of water to fall off, so we're not going to compensate with our shoulders. What we're going to do is we're going to be lifting our left knee up, compensating through your shoulders, and lower it down. I'm going to repeat this a couple of times. So lift the left knee up, get to your end range of motion, hold for 2 or 3 seconds, and lower back down. And again, lift the left knee up, hold for 2 or 3, and down. And we go again. Lift the left knee up, hold. You might feel your abductors or your glute med starting to work. And one more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. And we're going to stay on this left leg. This time we're going to do some rotations. So you're going to kick back. Try your best not to arch your spine here. So you're going to kick back. And as if you're drawing a circle with your left knee, you're going to bring your knee around in a big circle. And when you get to the point where you feel like you've got no control or you've got no mobility, stay in that position. That's the position that we want to strengthen in. So when it starts to feel uncomfortable or like you've got no control, for me is here. I'm going to stay here and go through it slowly. Again, you've got that glass of water on your shoulders. And you repeat again. So we're going to do 3 of these one way, and 3 the other way. then reverse the movement. So the reversing the movement is going to bring your knee up to your elbow, out to the side, and kick for 1, 2, and 3. Bring the knee down, sit back into child's pose, rest the arms. You might be working up a bit of a sweat already. And back up into tabletop. So we're going to go with the right knee this time. So we're going to bring the right knee up. Keep that glass of water on the shoulders. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, and then bring the right knee up again. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more. 1, 2, 3, and then. If it's too much to hold for 3 seconds, just hold it for 1 and come back down. And then I'm going to go straight into the circles. So kick the right leg out. Draw a big circle with your knee. Come forward. Keep those shoulders straight. 1, 2, 3. And back. We're going to go the other way. Right knee up. For 1, 2, and 3. And relax back into child's pose, just to ease off on the arms if your arms are tired. And we'll come up into tabletop position, tuck the toes under, push back into downward dog, bend the knees, walk the hands forward, and come up to the back of your mat. So what we're going to move into now is we're going to go through a range of downward dogs, deep lunges, and we'll work on loosening out the hips. We're going to loosen out the front of our hips and our glutes while we're down here too. So when you're ready, take a big inhale, exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands out until you come into a downward dog. And just slowly walk the heels out. Until you become comfortable. When you're ready, just settle into your downward dog. Open up those elbows to create space in the shoulders. Your knees can be bent if you want. Your heels don't have to touch the ground. But what you're looking for is a straight line from your hands up to your shoulders, up into your spine, your lower back. When you're ready, step your right foot forward between your hands. Bring both hands inside your right foot. Push into the back heel of your left foot just to straighten out that hip. You might feel a stretch here in the front. If this is too much for you, you can get your 2 blocks. Hold your hands up on your blocks. Then when you're ready, you can move down to 1, and then you can get rid of them. So what I want you to imagine here is that you're pushing this hip down towards the ground, but trying to keep your back knee extended fully. Breathe into this. When you're ready, keep the right hand on the ground. You're going to bring the left hand up across your right arm, up your chest, and look to the sky. I'm going to do 3 of them. So 1, inhale up, exhale as you twist. 2, 3, and then drop the left knee down to the ground. Come up into your split squat position. If you want, we're just going to stretch out our hip flexors here. If you want, if the ground is hard underneath you, you can put your pillow under your knee and come up into your split squat position. So in this position, what I want you to imagine is that your hips are like a bowl of water. And if you've got an anterior pelvic tilt, the water is going to pour out of your hips. I want you to tuck those hips up so that you're straightening that bowl of water. And by doing that, you're going to get a deeper stretch on your hip flexor. So tuck those hips up. Reach the left arm up. Inhale, exhale, push the hips forward and hold. From here, we're going to do some Pnf stretching, which is contract and release. So I want you to pull that left knee. Imagine you're pulling the left knee forward for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And on your exhale, sink a bit deeper into the stretch. Going to do that one more time. Inhale, pull that knee forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, down. And bring both hands down. Straighten that left leg. Get rid of your pillow. Straighten that left leg. We're going to bring the right foot across to the left-hand side of the mat. Drop your right knee down and come into pigeon. So in pigeon pose here, what we're looking to do is we're looking to keep our lower back or our lumbar spine straight if we can. Try your best, if you are struggling to get deep here, try your best not to round your lower back here, because we're going to move the stretch. Let's straighten my mat. We're going to move the stretch out of our glutes and into our lower back if we're doing that. So ease yourself into this nice and gently. Breathing here. If you want to go deeper, move this right foot a little bit out. And we're going to do the Pnf here as well. So I want you to kick that right foot down into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on your exhale, sink a bit deeper. And again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. And we'll just relax here for a minute. I found in some of my yoga classes that sometimes people can begin to feel a bit funny or emotional when they're in deep hip stretches like this. And that's because often we can hold tension or emotions in our hips. The body has a funny way of holding on to trauma or emotions. When you're ready, the left hand on the ground, tuck the left heel up, push back into a downward dog, and walk it out. My hands are slipping on this mat. When you're ready, step the left foot forward. And we're going to repeat that sequence on this side now. So, again, tuck those hips, straighten that spine, push into that back right heel if you can. If you need your blocks, use your blocks, come up. And breathe into the stretch. So after this, what we're doing here is we're lengthening all the muscles around the hips. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into some controlled articular rotations for the hips, 90-90 position you might have done before. Left hand in the ground. Breathe up. Inhale up. And exhale as you look to the sky. 3 of them. Nice and slow. Breathing through your nose for the whole class if you can. To practice that nasal breathing. Lower that right knee down to the ground. Grab your pillow if you need it. If you're on a hard ground like me, come up into your split squat position. Remember with that bowl, tuck those hips up. Inhale, raise the right hand up. Exhale, push the hips forward. Just hold it here for a few. You'll find if you're sitting down and work all day, or you're driving, or you're playing football and you're doing a lot of kicking, or you're doing a lot of running, hip flexors tend to get quite tight. And tight hip flexors can lead to a tight back, a sore back, because our iliopsoas connects through into our lumbar spine. When you're ready here, we're going to do our Pnf. So pull that right knee forward along the ground, or just imagine you're pulling it forward to activate those muscle fibers for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your exhale, sink a bit deeper. Repeat again. Inhale for 5, 3, 2, 1. Sink a bit deeper. Last one. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sink a bit deeper. When you're ready, lower the hands down inside the left foot. Push back into that right knee, into your plank position, and walk that left foot across to the outside of your right mat. Lower that left knee down and extend into this back foot. I'm going to move up the mat here as I'm slipping off it. So again, with this pigeon pose, we're looking not to round our back here. We want to keep a nice neutral spine. If you want to move deeper into the stretch, pull this left foot out further away from you, and you're going to change the angle of the stretch. If it's too much for your hips, throw a block under your bum there like this. So when we're in stretches like this, it's important for you to have a sense of comfort, but also be pushing the stretch as well. We don't want to go too far with the stretching. So think about getting to the edge of your stretch and taking a couple of steps back. That's how we're going to improve. But if we force it, we're going to create tension and more trauma in the body, and the body won't want to move into those positions. And that's why it's important to breathe. So we're going to do the Pnf here. Kick the left heel into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax, sink a bit deeper. Kick the left foot into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And those 1 or 2 seconds straight after your contraction is the perfect time to relax, because what we're doing is we're sending a signal to the brain that when we contract in this position, the brain then gets a signal to say it's okay for us to contract our muscles in this position. It's a safe position. So one last time, 5, 4, 2, 1, relax. And push into that right foot. Step back into downward dog. Drop the knees and come back onto your heels just as a rest. We're going to do our cars now. So let's come into our 1990 position to start. So think about our 1990 position here. We have a right angle with our shin and our thigh, and then we have a right angle with our thigh and our shin on our left leg behind us. So we're going to go through a few transitions, rotations. If you need to, if you're struggling to sit in this position at all, raise up your hips again, just to make it easier. The last thing I want is you to be sitting in this position here and not to be able to move through the motion, because all we're going to be doing there is creating poor movement patterns, and that's not what we want. So my hips are a little bit tight this morning. I trained last night, so I'm going to heighten them up a little bit. So I want your body over your right leg. Bring your arms out in front of you, and just get used to this position that we're in here. Long, slow inhales. When you're ready, you're going to rotate your body to the left. Keep rotating until you reach nearly like a blockage. Lift that left knee up, lift that right knee up, and we're going to come into 1990 on the other side. Get rid of this, I don't need that. In this position here, take a couple of breaths, relax into it. And let's go, the other side. Rotate the body around to the right. You're facing forward. Lift that right knee, lift the left knee. And we're 90-90 on the other side. We're going to do one more time. Controlling your breath, breathing through your nose. Try your best not to hold your breath. And last time, let's go around. Right. So what we're going to do here is we'll do a few activations to switch everything on, get a bit of strength into the hip. So first one, we can use our hands to prop us up. If you want, you can use our blocks to prop up the body nice and straight. We're going to push this right leg, so the right heel and the right knee down into the ground as hard as you can. But what I want you to do is build it up. So you're going to go 10%, 20%, 50%, 60% until you're at 100% strength, and we're going to do that for 10 seconds. So I slowly want you to start building up, pushing that right knee into the ground. So about 20, 30%, up to about 50. Keep pushing it. 70, 80. Get ready for 100% pushing for 10 seconds. And push down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now I want you to bring the body over this right knee. Keep that back straight if you can. As you come a little bit lower, we're going to do the exact same. Going to push this right knee, right heel down into the ground. So you can go 100% nearly straight away. Ease into it and push for 100% for 10, 9, 8. Really push into that ground. You should feel your glute med, your glutes really firing. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Go a little bit deeper. And slowly come up out of this. I'm going to keep this left leg in the ground now. We're going to stretch out the adductors or the groins. Keep the left leg in the ground. Prop yourself up with your blocks if you need to. And we're going to lift this right knee now. So slowly lift that right knee up as high as you can without compensating and coming up. And lower it down. One more, lift the left knee up, keep them left toes in the ground. And lower it down. This time push the left knee into the ground. We're going to build up to that for 10 seconds. So like we done with the other one, 20% pushing that left knee down into the ground. Up to about 50%, pushing the left knee down into the ground. 60, 80, and 100 for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Lift that left up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's do that one more time. Push that knee down, build it up very gently. Get ready to go and push. Left knee down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Lift that left knee up. You'll see my left hip is after starting to really loosen up there. I don't know if you can see it, but it feels like it. 3, and let's go, last bit of strength here. You're going to try your best to pick this whole left leg up off the ground. It's going to be very difficult. You might feel a lot of cramping. You might feel a lot of compensation going on. If you need to lean away and do it, you can. Try your best to sit upright. We're going to try and lift this up for 5 seconds. We're going to do it twice. So when you're ready, lift this whole left hip up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. You'll see I had to come off to the right to compensate a little bit to do so. We're going to go again. Could feel it cramping there a little bit. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Let's swap to the other side. So controlled, twist the body, lift the left knee up, right knee, and come across into the other 90-90. Get my blocks. So there's so much that can be done in this 90-90 position. And we're going to cover it over a couple of classes as well. Different variations that you can do here, because it really is a vulnerable position for our hips. So let's go Sit upright first. Take long and slow inhales, long and slow exhales. My right hip is definitely tighter than my left hip on the inside. I have a hip impingement on my right hip. It's caused by a flat foot on my right foot from an injury when I was a kid. It was never really addressed through my childhood and teens. I fix it now. I can still feel a bit of an impingement in my hip sometimes when I'm doing stuff like this. So I've definitely corrected it. So as you're comfortable here, let's go with this left leg. Build it up to 100%. So I give you about 7 or 8 seconds to build this left leg up to 100%, pushing it down. Should be up about 60 or 70 now. 80 and 100 for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Come forward. Breathe deep down into your belly. You should feel the breath coming down into your hip. You might, after taking a big inhale, you might actually feel a bit of expansion in your hip. Get ready to push that left hip down for 5, 4, 3, 2, sorry, there's supposed to be 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come forward. There's a lack of concentration there. And we'll do one more. For 10, 9, 8. Really push 100%. 6, 1. And come up. Keep that left toe on the ground. We're going to lift up that right knee. So I'm going to take track of where my knee is getting to now. Let's do 2 or 3 of these. And lower that right knee down. Let's go push that right knee down into the ground. We're going to take about 7 or 8 seconds to build it up to 100%. So about 20%, 30%, to 50, 60, 80, and 100 for 10, 9, 8, 7. If you feel any shaking, that's good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. I've definitely got a little bit further there. 2 and 3. Let's go again. Build it up slowly. Only take 2 or 3 seconds this time. Get ready and let's push for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Open up that hip. That's feeling good now. And lower it down. Let's go. This whole right leg. Try your best. Again, if you need to shift off to the left, do so. Try and keep the body upright. I'm going to lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Bit of a cramp there. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. That was much better on that side. I think sometimes on the first one, the body doesn't know what's going on. And let's do a third one. You might as well. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let's get rid of your blocks. Straighten out those legs. And We'll open up those hips. So I want you to lie on your back. And bring the feet out about mat distance apart. Bend the knees and just let those knees fall in towards each other. Just get some internal rotation on the hip. We're doing a lot there on external rotation. So just to counteract that. Take big deep breaths. We're going to come into happy baby here. So bring the left hand inside onto the arch of the left foot, if you can. Right hand onto the inside of your right foot into happy baby. You're pulling your knees into your chest or into your armpits. And if you can't do this, just go with your hands behind your knees. Or what you could do is get a jumper or a towel and pull your knees down into your chest. So we're just going to ease into this for a little while. When you get comfortable, you can do your Pnf stretching here if you feel like it. I'm going to do 2 rounds. You don't have to if you don't want to. To do the Pnf here, you kick your feet into your hands and pull your hands down into your feet. So I'm going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull your knees down. Relax. You can close the eyes here if you want. Push the feet into the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. And just chill out here. Lower the feet down. I'm going to quickly stretch out the glutes before we come into Shavasana. So place the right ankle on top of the left knee. Reach your right hand through the gap here. You'll be able to see it here from the side. Reach the right hand through the gap. Left hand comes around the outside. And you're going to grab the back of your thigh, your hamstring, and lean back. If you don't feel a stretch there, just reach forward and grab your shins. And we're going to take 5 slow breaths here. Again, you can close the eyes here. We're starting to go inward now. And lower that left foot down, right foot down. Left leg on top of the right knee. Reach the left hand through the gap. Right hand comes around the back. And pull that knee into the chest. Again, you can grab the front of the shin if you want. And lower the feet down to the ground. Walk those feet out, straighten them out, and lie back flat. We're going to come into Shavasana, which is a relaxation pose. So if you need a blanket or a pillow or anything, you can grab that now. Palms are out by your side, facing the ceiling. Your toes are falling out to the side. Find your head in a nice neutral position. Feel the mat beneath your feet, beneath your bum, beneath your shoulders. Let's tune into your breath. Notice if you can feel the sensation of your breath as it comes in through your nose. As the cold air comes in through your airways, down your throat. And as it rises your belly. Bring your awareness and your attention now down to your right foot and see if you can feel the point of contact between your right heel and the ground. Tune in on it. Now your left heel on the ground. Come up to your right leg. Just scan your right leg and see where you can feel contact. What sensations can you feel in your right leg? Now your left leg. What sensations can you feel in your left leg? Now up to your hips. Your back. Your shoulders. The backs of your arms. Your right arm. Your left arm. Your right hand. Your left hand, all the way up to the back of your head. Up to the top of your head. Down onto your face. Relax your eyes into your head. And as with all the Shavasanas in the rest of this Yoga for Athletes course, if you have time, I recommend pausing the video and just chilling out here in Shavasana. But if you need to bring yourself back for one reason or another, do so gently. So if you're going to stay here, just pause the video and relax. If you need to come back, I want you to slowly just bring attention into your fingers and your toes. Again, roll yourself over onto your right hand side and just stay here for a few seconds. You can keep your eyes closed. When you're ready, use your hand to push you up into a seated position. You can keep the eyes closed. And we're going to come into the position we began in. Take a breath or two. When you're ready, open the eyes. Well done. There's our first class done. I hope you enjoyed that one. And I'll see you for the next class soon.